This is a continuation of talking about Pascal's triangle and the binomial theorem. I wanted to emphasize when I presented this in the other video how we can do this very efficiently. Like x plus y to the fourth, we can do it efficiently if we already know x plus y cubed. If we already know basically this row of Pascal's triangle, the 1, 3, 3, 1, the next row is not too hard because all we have to do is multiply x plus y times that. And that led directly to the rule for Pascal that said, like, for example, the 6 is the 3 plus 3 or the 4 is the 1 plus 3. But I want to emphasize a different way of doing things. And for that, I actually do want to go back to and redo this as just like x plus y times x plus y. And this is going to be x plus y, x plus y, x plus y. And let's see what happens when we do that. So for example, this guy is going to be 4 of them multiplied together. And let's pretend we don't know the actual answer yet. Okay, so this guy, in each case, we want to observe the same thing that we observed before, though, that each time you're multiplying either an x times a y, and you're doing it twice here, 3 times here, 4 times here. So you're never going to get just an x alone, or a y alone, or like an x to the fifth, or just a 1 or something like that. In each case, it's going to the sum of the degrees of the x's and y's is going to be equal to 2. And here again, the sum of the degrees, because we're either going to get like x times y times x, which will be 2 x's and 1 y, or y times y, which is 0 and 3, or x times x. Any way you look at it, it's going to be something times, like for example here, x squared plus something times xy plus something times y squared. And here, we know it's going to be something times x cubed plus something times x squared y plus something times xy squared plus something times y cubed. And of course, we secretly know what those answers are, but I want to derive it in a rather different way. Okay, here it's going to be something times x to the fourth plus something times x cubed y plus something times x squared. That doesn't go there. X squared y squared. I'm just writing down all the possibilities where the powers, the degrees of each of the pieces sum up to 4. And here 3, here 2. Okay, so let's look at the x squared here. What I want to describe this as is basically a fundamental counting problem. The number of coefficients, the number of times we're going to get x squared out of this expansion when we expand out all the possible products. Let's just expand it out really formally. X squared plus xy plus yx plus y squared. We're going to get x squared when in each of the factors there's four terms that comes out of this, because in each factor I can pick either x or y. So there's 2 choices, and I can pick either x here or x or y here, pick either x or y here. And this number is going to be how many ways am I going to do it so that I pick x both times? Well, there's only one way to do that. Okay. But what about here? This turns out to be a 2, because I can either pick x or y here, and then I just have to pick the opposite one here. Or another way to say it is, let's look at each of these factors. The x plus y is the first factor, the x plus y is the second factor. And I want to figure out how many ways could I highlight one of those factors where I'll pick an x. So suppose I highlight that one and I say that's the one where I pick an x, and the other one I pick a y in. That's one way I could do it. That's going to be the xy here. Or I could highlight this factor. That's the one where I pick an x, and the other one I pick a y. That's going to create this factor. There's 2 ways to do that. I could either highlight this one or highlight this one. And so that's going to be a 2. For the y's, there's only one way to get y squared, which is I have to not highlight either of them. In neither of them should I pick an x. And so that's just going to be one way to do it. Now here's where it gets a little bit more interesting, and we see the pattern maybe a little better. To get x cubed, I've got to pick x from every single one of them. There's only one way to do that. I just have to highlight every single one of these factors. So there's going to be a 1 there. But to get an x squared y, I need to highlight exactly 2 of the factors. So like I could highlight these 2 guys and get x, and then the other one is going to give me a y. Or I could choose these 2 to be the ones where I'm picking x, and this one to be the one with y. That's another way. And then it's a little harder for me to do it this way, but I could highlight this one and this one together. and those would be the ones with x, and the other one would be y. So this number, which is 3, as we know, that 3 is the number of ways to choose 2 things from 3 things. Because the things here are the factors, the things in parentheses, and I had to choose 2 of them, the ones where I use x and not y, from 3 things, which is all the factors. Now this 3, we know this is a 3, but where does that come from? That's coming from, I just need one of them to pick and highlight with an x. So I could pick that one to be x and the other ones I use y from. I could pick this one to be the one I use an x, or I could pick this one to be using an x, and that's going to be 3. Okay, so the other 3, the second 3 is the number of ways to choose one thing from 3 things. And those are the same number. Why is that? Well, picking one of them to be x, it's essentially picking the other 2 to be y. And of course, the symmetry of Pascal's triangle is something we're familiar with already a little bit. And that symmetry corresponds to if I think the task is to pick which ones I use the x from, somebody else could say, oh, I'm going to keep track of which ones are using the y. And that's going to give us that symmetry. That picking one thing is equivalent to picking 2 things, it's just the ones I didn't choose. Then the 1 is, again, I have to pick none of them. That's the number of ways to pick absolutely none of those things, the ways to highlight no things out of 3 things. So this 1 is how to pick 3 things out of 3 things. This is how to pick 2 things out of 3 things, how to pick 1 thing, how to pick no things out of 3 things. Or I could order it the other way as well, because it doesn't matter, it's symmetrical. Similarly, let me just put in the 1, 4, 6, 4, 1 here. We know what the numbers are, but let's just do one of them. Let's do the middle one. This x squared y squared, that comes from highlighting exactly 2 of the terms and using x from those terms and using the y from the other 2. So I could highlight these 2, or the middle 2, or these 2, or maybe this one and this one. There's a bunch of ways to do it, and that's what leads us to our fundamental counting problem. How do we systematically predict, given, so here's the problem, given n objects, how many ways are there to choose, let's say, k objects from them? It seems to be that if I take 4 objects and I pick 2, the answer should be 6. And if you write it all out and just keep track of it very explicitly, you see that it is 6. But we want a more systematic way to do that so that we could predict, for example, without knowing the 20th row of Pascal's triangle, what would, for example, the x to the 11th, y to the 9th term, what would the coefficient be in front of that? It should be the number of ways to pick 11 things from 20, or choose 11 things from 20, or equivalently choose 9 things from 20. And we'd like to figure out exactly what that number is. And we will be able to do that very, very soon.